I think it was last week or the week before that, Doc mentioned, I don't know if it was related to Elon or Twitter or both, but about the bots on Twitter. Some more news has come out about the whole bots with Twitter and Elon. Elon Musk's proposed $44 billion purchase of Twitter appears to be wobbling, with the billionaire raising concerns about the number of inauthentic accounts or bots on the social media platform. If you're on Twitter, chances are you've encountered a bot, although you may not know it. On Tuesday, Musk said his deal to buy Twitter can't move forward unless it provides public proof that less than 5% of its accounts are fake or spam, as the company reported in a May 2nd regulatory filing. When it was announced that Elon Musk was finally in the running, like we're finally going through with this deal, there was a suspicious rise in conservative followers and conservative content creators on the Twitter platform, and a sudden decrease in exodus of, I guess, liberal, progressive, or leftist content creators and subscribers, where it made people think Twitter, it can to them prove the conspiracy theory that Twitter was suppressing right-wing content and promoting left-wing content. And then it comes out that when Elon asked Twitter about the bot thing, they provided him with a sampling. And Elon then released publicly that he was going to do his own sampling of 100 users. And people gave him flack for it. So that's not how you do a sampling of blah, blah. That's too low, blah, blah. And he was like, well, this is how Twitter does their sampling. And that caused an uproar. Twitter accused him of violating the NDA because he's not allowed to talk about the deal or Twitter together. And also the CEO, I don't know how to say his name. He then came out with a long, lengthy tweet trying to explain this whole thing about how nuanced it comes to this data thing and understanding bots and their effect and blah, blah, blah. So right now with this whole bot thing it seems like Elon's concerns is, and it might be justifiable concerns, that Twitter might be suppressing their actual bot counts. Elon wants to know the actual, Elon wants to confirm that 5%, it's actually below 5%. Because if it's above 5%, then Twitter has been fudging the numbers and they sold or selling Elon a false product. And he might actually get
the value would be
it'd be different because it's not the actual users that they said, and also it affects advertisers because advertisers need to know this and they don't. That's one thing Elon replied to whatever the CEO's response was. Well, advertisers need to know this, and if they don't know this, then you're falsifying whatever to advertisers.
Exactly. No. Yeah. Ethan said that in the chat. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So my question is,
Ethan's over here talking shit about while you talk.
So my question to this is it possible that, and I'm not saying there isn't anything being fudged or there isn't a certain type of account being more harshly filtered than another type. Is it possible that because Elon Musk bought it, there was an influx of conservative?
That's what they're saying. That's kind of the counter argument. Yeah.
And then a lot of people just assuming they were liberal, whatever, just something in left. So I'm sure the numbers can skew some way, somewhere where maybe they were doing it a little bit, maybe they're doing a lot. I don't know. But I think it's real interesting with the bots because they have to reevaluate the whole company at that point. Then he gets to renegotiate his price. And he already approached with such a crazy number. And they've already seen so much change in the stocks because of what he's proposed to do.
Change, yeah.
So what if nothing happens?
If nothing, well, I mean, like the sale-wise or?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if nothing happens, Twitter still loses.
Regardless.
Stocks go down.
100%. He got them in a crazy place.
Crazy.
Right
now. That's what I was thinking. I was like, it's kind of like a maniacal, like mastermind.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
type shit. Up. Just like, bro, you baited them.
He's basically
Hard.
telling them, I control your value already, and I
Yeah.
haven't even purchased it yet.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sell to me what I want to buy me at.
Jesus I didn't think of it like that. Damn, that's fine. What I did hear was there's another podcaster on YouTube. I guess he's more of a YouTuber than podcaster.
Twitter's
His
on
name's
fault,
it's a Gundam, and the guy was talking about the same thing, but he was talking about what was weird was that both people who classified as liberals and more right wingers on Twitter, they were all seeing a flux. So like really famous personalities that are openly liberal, we're seeing a decrease in their followers.
Yeah, I think Katy Perry lost like 200,000 followers or something like that.
Yes, weird stuff like that. Like they shouldn't have lost followers, but after the purchase, they lost them, and then all of a sudden, like more right-wing people got influx. And so I can definitely see.
And some content creators of right wings got their accounts like reactivated, or they got
Yeah,
put off
that
ban or
too,
something like
right?
that. Yeah.
I can definitely see them getting more subscribers or followers with people being like, "Oh, okay, they're gonna balance the tipping scales." So people coming back to the platform, going to those people and stuff like that. But I don't understand why the other would lose 200,000 followers, and that is where I think the bot stuff comes in. And if you see those numbers and people, you can even see their tweets like, "Hey, I lost 200,000 followers overnight. What's going on?" I think that's when Musk was like, all right, I need to check the bot levels and see what's up. Because if it is true that they've just been boosting the leftists and the liberals, and he's buying now a more equaled out like platform that's totally different than what he was expecting to get. And he has every right, I think, to deal with that. The NDA stuff is messy though. I think that's where they're probably trying to cut the deal. But at that point,
But if he can
Twitter
prove
does
fraud,
have to
then
present
the
something.
NDA has no power anymore. Like, it's fraud.
Well, he doesn't have to buy it. He's already
Fraud.
ruined the company's fucking name.
Yo, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. This podcast is sponsored by Angel Blinds, a local Atlanta area small business. Their blinds help you get a new look for your living room, to your bedroom, to your dining room. They even got custom kids blinds with their favorite superhero or princess. Use our promo code FDT. Our audience gets 10% off their first purchase. You can find them at Facebook at Angel Blinds, or Instagram at Angel Blinds underscore, between Angel and Blinds. So check them out.
Well, another
Is
question I
that
wanted to ask you
fraud?
guys, which was, I think it was about somewhere along the lines of influence. I forgot where I wanted to go with influence, because this clearly shows that Twitter has been, I would say personally,
Messed up on the
negatively
bus.
influencing things. And because personally for me, I follow political side of Twitter, they've been heavily influencing politics. Because a lot of people, whether it's good or bad, go to Twitter for their news. And if Twitter has been promoting left-wing content more so than right-wing content, and Tim Pool argues all the time, which I personally do agree with him and think he's right, that they also are, with the ruling, are biased towards right-wing, right towards conservatives. This honestly kind of proves that Twitter has been influencing the political sphere. Whether or not to the degree of the influence, they actually have been influencing it, which I think is kind of wild.
It is wild. I just wonder if there's any way to like deal with it. Like, I don't think that they'll get in trouble or anything for it.
Which
I
is
think
unfortunate,
it'll.
but yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think really the biggest backlash would be public appeal, and everybody would just become more skeptical of Twitter, which I think they honestly should.
Facts.
I mean, I think people should be skeptical regardless of what side they fall on of any kind of public platform.
I agree with that.
Second question, I guess now that I think about it, is with all this coming to light, and if they did have an algorithm, for the sake of discussion, let's assume they did. Now that this algorithm to suppress whatever they've been suppressing, if they have been, is now gone, do you think there will now be a proper representation of ideas on Twitter, and will that reinvigorate Twitter, if that's the right way to describe it? Bring Twitter back to life.
I
Nope.
feel like it's definitely gonna have
The format
some
sucks. So,
hustle and bustle. I don't know if it's gonna like change everything. I think it's gonna be really difficult though for the people that are at the central zones and the headquarters of this type of like company, because you want to appease the people that are working for you in person at your headquarters. And most tech companies, they have a rooting in really liberal states. But as they spread and move to other places that are cheaper, more affordable, or even just like different, just because they need a new location, they have to deal with people who think differently in different states. And I think that's where the real problem is going to be.
Yeah, there was a tweet I was talking about. So how do advertisers know what they're getting for their money? This is fundamental to the financial health of Twitter.
he has 93 million followers.
Yeah, he has a lot of followers, dude.
Ain't that like all of them?
Damn
I think
near.
I follow the nigga.
Second question, and then let's move on, which is, do you think this actually is an opportunity for other platforms like, what's the other ones? I know Trump's recent one, Truth, and
Trump got a app, a Twitter type app.
yeah, Truth Social. It actually wasn't doing that great. I don't know if it's doing great now because they were having a bunch of problems. I think they addressed them. And another big complaint people had about Truth Social was Trump wasn't even on it, but he's recently now on it finally. Whether or not he's using it like he did Twitter,
Stupid shit.
yeah, right. It's kind of funny, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah, apparently Elon Musk is actually trying to get his account back, but Trump said he's not coming back to Twitter. And so I guess my question though is, do you think because this is like, in my opinion, a clear sign of the fall of the empire that is Twitter, do you think a new empire will rise in its ashes? And for the sake of discussion, not saying it will be True Social, but like something like True Social or whatever the other, I forgot what the other one is called.
You know what Twitter's used for, bro? Twitter's used for videos that you know and shit that you know you can't find on Instagram because you can post anything on Twitter.
That's why you always tell me sometimes Twitter's a better place to go search for stuff.
Twitter's always a better, but like if you want immediately to know like the extent of what you're looking for, just go to Twitter. That's it. Just go to Twitter. I don't know how to explain it, but Twitter been dead. The format sucks. This shit not good. Nobody jacking Twitter like that. It's just you have a Twitter. Once in a while, you'll go check your Twitter, see what's happened, but you don't even really check on tweets. I don't want to just see people talking. The fuck? Niggas on IG now. Niggas, Snapchat's even dead, and that's the visuals.
Snapchat is super dead. Snapchat, I think, is like a secondary app to OnlyFans. There's little teasers. Follow my Snapchat.
Yes, I agree with that.
Now that you like my Snapchat, go to OnlyFans.
I also, because I don't post on Snapchat. I normally on Snapchat go to the, there's like a video section.
Okay.
Like, if you scroll to the right.
Like a browser video section or something like that?
Yeah, like they have like people's channels. Like initially I was watching Matt Stoney.
People's channels?
Like people who have YouTube channels too.
Yeah, yeah.
They'll have channels on Snapchat.
Should we get a Snapchat for Fake Deep Thinking?
I mean, I don't know. But like Matt Stoney, he's like a competitive eater. So like he has like season 1, season 2, and like there's videos of him doing little eating challenges. Like me and my girl normally watch.
Maybe I'll talk to you guys about that afterwards. We should branch the Snapchat thing. Because I thought, like you said, I thought Snapchat was dead, so I didn't bother making a Snapchat for Fake Deep Thinking.
Like I don't use Snapchat for posting or talking to anybody. I
don't use Snapchat. I mean, honestly, the only socials I'm on is Instagram, Facebook. That's because Facebook's kind of really like an inbox for me.
I check my Facebook once every other year.
I only use social media for the Fake Deep Thinking, and I sometimes get lost watching the content. This guy. The only thing that will bring Twitter back to life is if Elon Musk buys it. Man, he might not buy it, to be honest with you, with everything going on. He might just expose.
Twitter needs Elon Musk to buy it.
They really do. Like
that's
the fact that they're resisting Elon so hard is so, in my opinion, dumb.
Yo, thanks for making it to the end. We really appreciate it and hope you all enjoyed the show.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button, and the notification bell to get notified when we post our clips.
Follow us on Twitter at PodcastFDT. Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are all Fake Deep Thinking. Check us out, please.
FDT. Peace, y'all.
Peace.